daughter, Joy. How are both of you doing?
Very good.
I'm doing well.
Now, for those of you that remember me from my Straight No Chaser show days, Okira and Danae Macklin were my actual first guests ever. And we had a really heated conversation for some folks. We were all in sync, but other people were kind of stunned. But now we are in a different life
Yeah.
moment because we didn't have Joy then.
No, we did not. We did not. Yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed.
So I'm going to talk with you second, Okira.
Okay.
Joy, tell the audience, firstly, how old are you?
I am 10 years old.
Wow, we thought 9. We still were sure. We were shocked at 9. And what grade are you in?
5th.
And where do you attend school?
Indiana.
You're in Indiana. Okay. Now.
Oh.
That's the name of her school.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Olympia Fields.
all right. You live in Olympia Fields and the school is named
So
Indiana.
we live in Madison. The school she goes to is in Olympia Field. It's called Indiana.
Got you.
Sorry.
No. We are working it all out. So for you, Joy, what do you feel are your best subjects?
Math and art.
Math and art. And do you have a vision or a view of what you want to do like 10 years from now? And it's okay if you don't. There are a whole lot of people that are grown that don't know what they're doing yet.
I don't know what I want to do from 10 years. Actually, I want to start being a lawyer.
Ah, okay. Okira, you have a savings account set up? Because we're looking at law
Actually,
school.
yes, it's a little something come out every week.
All right. So
Yeah.
you can go without it being any struggle. So your dad has that faded. Now, in 5th grade, have you talked with your dad about what it was like for him when he was your age?
No, not really. He said like stuff there and there, but not too much.
Now, one thing that we can definitely say is in 5th grade, we didn't have cell phones.
I still don't have a cell phone.
No, well, Dad.
Hey, she don't need a cell phone.
Well, I'm getting one when I'm 12 or 11, so hopefully.
But
talk to your mom about that one.
there was not this level of technology when we were your age. Now, for her being in school in the suburban district, do you as a dad see any difference than what you experienced when you were in school?
So, the interesting thing is that she goes to the school right. So when we moved into Matson, I was in the 6th grade.
Okay.
And so she goes to the school I would have went to if I was in 5th grade.
Because she'll go to a different school next year,
Yes,
right?
she'll go to Hoop next year, which is you know what? Actually, so now at Indiana they have 5th and 6th grade.
Okay, so she'll go to Hoop for 7th grade.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that's different. The way that they do the schools now is a little bit different. I think even Hoop, the way that they do that, they have a section where there's I guess you could say elevated kids, and then there's the other people. And I'm not even sure if they still have that, but so it is a little different. The other difference is that when I was around that age, I rode the bus to school. Now I take her to school.
The bus?
Yeah, like a little school, the school bus.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you meant like the CTA.
Oh no,
bus.
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no, no.
Wait a minute.
No, I got on the bus. She doesn't get on the bus. I drop her off every morning, and then either I pick her up or somebody else picks her up. So
okay,
that's a little different. She also wears a uniform. I've never had to. When I wore a uniform, I lived in the city and we went to a Catholic school. So
that's what I was about to say. At that
different.
time, it was a parochial school.
Yeah.
Only kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So Joy, when you look around and see your friends, you mentioned that you have a friend that doesn't have a dad in the home and that she's never met her dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the difference between having a dad around that's involved and not really having a dad? Do you know how that feels differently? What does your friend say to you that you don't really even understand?
Um, she don't talk too much about not having a dad, but how I think it would feel, I think it would be kind of sad
And why do you think it would be sad?
because if my dad wasn't in my life, I would be sad.
You're doing something right, Akira. You're doing something right. Now, when you look at what you are interested in and the kids around you, do you feel like you are in a friendly environment? Do you all deal with any bullying? Do they discuss that at school?
They do have anti-bullying, like most schools. Um,
But you don't feel bullied, right?
Sometimes they say mean stuff, but they don't say it very often.
And how do you respond?
Sometimes they get sad, and sometimes they say something back.
Now, Dad,
Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't take the roof off the building. But
So
has she spoken with you about it?
yes. Yeah, she's had a couple of things happen. Recently, the most recent thing was a little boy, what did he say? Called you crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, little boy called her crazy. Um so we had a discussion about it, and I had to give her the conversation about how men will attack women and what they will use. And they will use your looks, they will use your weight, and they will use your mental stability,
Abilities.
right? And so, they'll try to call you ugly, they'll try to call you fat, or they'll try to say you're crazy. And so I had to break that down to her. I also gave her a couple of things to say, just in case if it happened again. I asked her if she wanted me to come up to the school. She didn't want to be called a snitch, so I left that alone. But you know, I just told her how to handle it. She has certain instructions for me. She can handle as far as what people say. We've had that conversation. She also knows that if anybody ever hit her, she has permission to hit back.
Now, have you ever had to hit anyone back?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Phew. Oh, wait a minute.
in kindergarten, I had to hit a boy back, but that was
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, thank goodness. Now, when you look around at your friends, do you feel like you and your friends are on the same level, want the same things out of life? What do you all talk about at this age?
um we talk about lots of random stuff. Like sometimes we talk about video games, sometimes we talk about what teachers we like, sometimes we talk about stuff like that. Um we don't really talk about what we want to do when we're older. I know one of my friends wants to be a singer though.
Okay. Now, but we're not in the boy considered stage yet, right?
No. We don't talk
Wait a
about
second.
we think
We not in what?
The-
No what?
we're not in the boy considering stage. We're not really dating, dealing with that at all. Are we?
actually
Oh goodness.
Dad, you can say it. You can
So let me tell you something.
Oh, let me sit back.
let me tell you a story. Little story about a boy
Named
named S. Don't
Named
say his
S.
name. Don't say his
S.
name.
Sorry.
So one day after school, we on the playground. Daddy, can I have 15 minutes to play on the playground? So I see Joy. I'm sitting in my seat, and Joy is on the hill, and she's running up and down the hill. And I notice there's a little boy in these red pants, and and Joy is rolling down the hill, and he rolling right by her and everything, right? And I'm like,
What's
you a
really
little
going
close,
on?
right? Why you up on my daughter like that, right? So Joy comes over, later just to kind of check in, and I say, "What's up with old boy in the red pants?" Oh, S, yeah, him. What's up with that? It's a boy I know. I said, is that right? I said, well, he a little too close. You know, she get this little look. She got a little smile on her face or whatever. You know how it is, whatever,
Yes.
right? So a couple of other times I see the young fella and Joy, they playing real close. One time, let me tell you about these young boys. He actually came down, sat next to me, started talking to me, and told me that him and my daughter like each other.
Wow.
Is that right? We sitting there talking. His father comes over, you know, trying to make sure everything go okay, right? He like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah. And he says, this is Joy, Dad. And so then his father said, oh, Joy? Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear her name all the time.
Oh
I
my
said, all
goodness.
right. So then she tells me, you know, Dad, one time she said she got in, you know, another little boy was messing with her. And this guy, you know, Mr. S, young fella, took up for her. And so I said, you know, I'm good with that. I said, you know, if I'm not there, I'm gonna need a guy, you know, boyfriend, whatever. He's gonna have to be able to protect you because you know that's Daddy's job, and if Daddy's not there, that's what he, you know, does. So now it's probably a year later, yeah, year and a half, 2 years later, something like that. Me and Joy are playing a game called Two Truths and a Lie. One of her options was I had a boyfriend, right? And then there was two other things. And so I knew one of the things had to be a lie because it was something totally out of
Way
my
out.
daughter's character, right? Which meant the boyfriend was the truth. And then that's when she came clean to me that her and the young fella were boyfriend and girlfriend and or had been, but they had broke up by this time.
Oh my gosh.
So y'all want to hear why?
Yes. Why? 'Cause I'm still shocked that the child had a boyfriend.
So-
I'm like, what is happening here?
So somebody cheated.
Oh.
So I said, exactly.
Can we
Who?
define?
Wait,
I
wait,
said-
wait, 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 wait.
Wait, define this.
I'm gonna need
Excuse me.
I'm gonna need you to define cheating.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Go ahead.
Okay.
First of all, people told Simon that I was cheating. Then people told me that Simon was cheating.
Right. I was getting to that part.
All right, thank you.
I was getting
Don't put me in the mix of me so-called almost cheating. I am not that type of person.
So
that's how that
so
that's
yes.
how that happened.
So I asked her, I need like, what do you mean? And that's what she told me. She said, well, people came up to me and said that he was cheating, and people told him that I was cheating, and so we just ended up breaking up. And so that's what the explanation was.
You know what? I just saw because the Huxtables, the Cosby Show, comes back on my reels for some reason.
Uh-huh.
And I just saw that episode where Vanessa and the young guy were both being told things in school, and she was like, "We're broken up because they said you broke up with me," and this, and I was laughing because I'm like, "That's what kids do, and that's what you're talking about right here. This is normal kid behavior."
Yes.
Now, as a girl dad, though, in 2024, almost 2025, what do you feel is most important as far as your role in her life? Because, like I said, outside of technology, the world is still very different than when we were younger. It seems to be just a lot more. Sometimes the behaviors that we see start so much younger and so much more rough.
Yeah. So for me, there's a couple of things. She needs to know that no matter what, I'm always on her side.
That's right.
I'll take the bullet. I'll fight the bear. I'll do whatever needs to be done. I'll go ham if anybody ever mess with her. So she knows that perfectly well that I don't play when it comes to her. So that's the first thing she needs to know. The second thing is that I have to basically show her what it feels like to um, experience love from a man. And so one of the things that she know is that out of anger, I would never hit her. I don't hit her. I don't curse at her. Um, I don't even like screaming at her. So she knows that because I think it's hypocritical for me to say that a man doesn't love you if he hits you, abuse or whatever.
And then
But
you hit
then
her.
I come back, I tell her every day I love her, but then I hit her out of anger, right? The other thing I think I am is to give her confidence, is to instill as much confidence in her as I possibly can, and to kind of reiterate what her strengths are, and to just be herself all the time. Like she talks a lot. She talks a lot. I mean, oh my God. She talks a lot, but I tell her all the time that's also your superpower. And
That's right.
even if, sometimes it can be irritating to me or whatever, I always tell her, make sure you never not talk. Always speak up, always talk, because when you get older you can have a radio show or you can have your own talk show. And I mean she has been like that since she was very young. She, we'll be on the playground and she is 3 4 years old walking up to adults saying, my name is Joy Hollis, that's my father, or Kira Hollis. Are these your kids?
I would
And
like
they're,
to talk to
and they're
them. I would
like,
like to play
yes,
with
can
them.
I play with them? And they be like, play with her. The kids looking at her like, who is this? But the parents are, so I mean, I'm talking about, I could think of a lot of times where she is talking to adults. I remember one time we go to a playground, it's just me and her. She's maybe 4 or 5. And there is another young lady there. There's no other kids on the playground. And this young lady is probably 19 or 20. Joy turns to me, she says, Dad, there's no kids here. And I'm like, so which means I'm gonna end up having to play with her, right? So she looks at the young lady and she says, are you a kid?
All right, let me go ask you at least.
The lady, no, she asked her first, do you have any kids? Girl says no. Then she says, are you a kid?
Say, can you come over
You
here and
know,
play just in
and,
case?
and she says no. And then, Joy turns to me and is like, I guess, Dad, you have to be the ogre. And
So get
so,
in the game.
yeah. But yeah. So that's, I just feeding her the confidence.
That's right.
I want her to walk in the world like she could conquer it. And so that's what I try to build in her.
All right. Miss Joy, are you an athlete on any level?
No.
Now, is there a reason why you say no?
Um, I cannot run for very long. I think the only sport I can at least average at is probably like football,
Really?
because I'm very strong.
Now,
Because I'm strong.
is there a sport that you haven't tried yet that interests you? And I'll give you an example. When I got to high school, we had archery for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And although I know a lot of people don't think of that as a sport, but it's a sport.
It is definitely a sport.
And to this day, I have a bow at my house.
Really?
Yes. Any chance I get, I go to an archery range from something I learned in 1981. So that's what I'm saying. There may be something out there that you haven't considered yet that you may want to try.
I think maybe horse riding.
Horseback riding is exceptional.
She does. She likes horses. She really does like horses. She when she was younger, she used to claim she talked to them. It was her favorite animal.
Wait. The horse whisperer.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
it. The horse
that was me.
whisperer.
That
Now,
was me.
She's in the band.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in the band.
What's your instrument?
Flute. And I'm
That
also in
was
art club.
so flipping hard to me. The flute was so hard for me to play.
It's I think it's one of the most difficult
Yes.
instruments.
I
Yeah.
ended up playing the clarinet because the flute just wore me out. I just could not get it.
I still get a headache to this day.
Yeah, she's okay.
The
I
fact that
remember when she
she's
first
even
started.
okay is
Yeah,
like phenomenal.
yeah, I remember when she first started. I was like, I don't know about this one. But then she started getting better and she getting better. So and
Yeah.
she likes art, uh athletically. Um
She's saying no.
No.
That's not your wheelhouse.
that's
No. I'm more intelligent than athletics.
Okay. Now, let's think about it this way. You may be able, depending on what you choose, to do both. Because now, Okara, what do you feel about? Because I've seen it more recently. Again, things have changed. There are girls playing football now.
yeah, so I've actually seen her live action, like at the park. Her and a couple other kids were playing football. She is strong. And so I if she was to play football, I think she would probably be on the defensive end. But
Okay.
that would be something she would have to decide. I wouldn't, um she would have to decide to do. But she did look good out there playing football. So that if there was a sport, that would be her sport. But she probably wouldn't be a wide receiver or something.
No.
She wouldn't be a wide receiver, but she could play other positions. Like she could rush the passer, she could do all of that. She would probably be good at that because she's tall for her age, she's strong, and she's long. And so yes.
Now, looking at her height, because she is tall for her age, I know a lot of people now, because of the current popularity, push basketball for girls. Like they used to push basketball for boys when I was
Right.
younger. But there are other options for young ladies that are tall, like volleyball, for example. Miss Beyond Beautiful World 2024 was a Division I volleyball player,
Hmm.
and it was her scholarship. That's what helped pay for her to go to school. Now, if you were to have your choice, looking at how you can kind of predict her development, what would you see for her if she chose any athletics?
So she's tall, but I don't I know if you play volleyball, especially you're gonna play competitive. I know a couple of friends who had daughters who played volleyball competitive. One was she was like 5'11", the other one is I think 6 feet or whatever.
Right.
Unless I do not foresee my daughter getting that tall.
Okay.
She thinks.
I never said I was gonna get that tall. I just said I was gonna get taller than you. I don't even really want to play volleyball, but all I said was I'm gonna get taller than you. Don't
And-
forget you.
And
I
you
can be I can be
and-
5'5", and I'll be taller than you. That's all I
I
want.
think he's taller than 5'5".
First of all, watch yourself, because you still got to come home. Oh, at least
Wait, when we out of the studio.
These people can only save you right here. They can't save you anywhere else. So watch yourself. First of all, you're not. First of all, I'm 5'9". I'm not no
That's what I
5'5".
thought. Yeah,
So
I'm like,
you better put some respect. You
on
better
my
stop
name.
yourself. You're getting a little too out of hand. So she's not gonna get 6 feet.
Okay.
Now, if she got 6 feet, it would be similar to what happened to Michael Jordan and his parents. Her mom is 5'7". I think
Okay.
her mom is 5'7" or whatever. Now, if she got taller than me, it would be now there are like in my family. Like for instance, my brother is 6'2". I got another brother who is 6 feet. My oldest brother is 6'11". And then, on a side of my family is a lot of tall like guys, like uncles 6 feet, cousins 6 feet. So
It has the
it's in it's
possibility,
in there.
genetics.
Yes, genetically it is in there. Because like you know, I wear a size 13, and so it's possible. If it happened, um, I would be happy. I would obviously have to listen to her mouth, as you can see. But if she got to be that tall, and she wanted to play a sport, probably volleyball. I don't know if she has the coordination for basketball
No, I
in that
don't.
sense. Yeah, I don't
What
know.
she's already said
Yeah,
no for
because
her.
I don't. I'm not sure if she has the coordination for, but it would probably be something like volleyball. I could see her playing something like volleyball.
I don't want to play basketball. Not at all.
And there we have it. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to play
Because
basketball. First of all, I can't.
well,
I
No, let's.
you choose
It's
not to. It's
it's
not that
not
you
that she.
can't.
It's not that she can't. It's just that
That's not your thing.
it's just something that it's just something that she has not been doing.
yeah.
So if maybe if like she, if you decided you wanted to play basketball, you could play basketball. You're not good at it now because it's not something you can just walk into and all of a sudden shoot like Steph Curry. It's something that takes practice. It's not anything that I have like exposed her to as a young child. We didn't go to the basketball course and things like that. So
Okay.
she doesn't play. So recently they had a stint in gym, right? Where
Yeah.
you were playing basketball. She didn't do that well. And so now in her mind is something she can't do. But it's just something she hasn't done.
I I still don't want to do it.
Well, and that's the key, because if you're not interested, you're not going to put necessarily the
Right.
effort for it. So I
Exactly.
get that. Now, for your next year, you'll still be at your same school.
Yes.
And then is it seventh and eighth only at the next school, or is it seventh, eighth, and ninth?
Seventh and eighth.
Okay. So when you go to what we would used to call junior high, is it still called
Yes.
junior
Yeah,
high?
junior high.
What do you expect to change for you versus what you are experiencing now?
I think I'll probably be taller.
You'll be taller, but do you think anything else will change as far as your friends, as far
Yes.
as what you see? What do you think?
My friends would definitely change.
Do they have more than one school come in feed into the junior high?
Yes.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, did not know that.
So then
Yeah.
you would definitely have some new associates.
Yes.
I yeah, I would have different friends.
And what's the high school that they feed into?
So
Um
there's several. So there is okay, I almost called there is central. So
I'm about
what
to say
they
Rich
have
Central changed,
is
right?
changed now. So they have they combine Rich Central, Rich East, and Rich South into two schools.
Ah, okay.
And so now there's um uh some sort of Rich, I don't know, Richton.
Rich
I
something.
can't remember what it's called,
Okay.
but there's one campus that is in the high school that used to be Rich Central, and then the other campus is in the high school that used to be Rich South. But
Okay.
I'm not sure if she is going to actually attend one of those high schools because her mom wants her to attend a Catholic school in the city or something of that nature. So I'm not sure
Now,
if
why would she want her to go to a parochial high school, especially in Chicago, compared to what's the system out there?
so her mom has other kids.
Okay.
Um I think it's I think to a degree is somewhat of a tradition in her mind because
Got you.
she attended a Catholic school. Just calm down. She attended a Catholic school. Her daughter attended a Catholic school, and her son attended a Catholic school. And so she likes how it prepared them for college, and so she would like for her to do that.
Now, what would you prefer if you had a vote in this? Would you rather go to a Catholic high school, or would you rather keep on the trajectory you're on right now, stay out south for high school?
I don't even need to stay out south. Just please don't put me in a Catholic high school.
Now, what is your thoughts about the Catholic school system that makes you say that?
I don't like church. I don't know why. I just don't like church. So
But
if
you won't have to go to church in the Catholic
Well, I
high
think
school,
that
do you?
I
yes,
know it's a part of the curriculum.
Is it?
Yes, it's
yes,
a part of the curriculum.
yes, it is. I couldn't do it. I couldn't
Well,
do it.
you could,
You
you just
could if
wouldn't want to,
you
but you
could,
could.
you just don't
But
want
it
to.
is, from what I recall, it's a part of every parochial school's curriculum is that they do have to go to religion, and they even some of them have to take class.
So, but what you don't understand, Joy, is that it's not it's not like
she's looking like
it's
stressed out.
not
Like
it's
no.
not like when you go to church
You
with
sure?
grandma.
Yeah.
It's not the
Oh
same.
no.
Okay.
Not
It's
the
not
same.
grandma's church. It's not grandma's church.
It's not the
Wait a
Like,
minute. What's your mom's denomination or her mom's? I mean her other grandmother.
so it's Pentecostal.
Oh no, it's not that.
It's not it's not
It
the
won't be
same.
that.
It's
Phew.
not it's
Okay.
not the same.
Okay, then I think I might
Okay,
survive.
Akira, on your way home, you need to have a conversation about the difference between that and the school setting.
Because because no, I didn't know that they still because I like I said when I was younger, I went to a Catholic school, and so I didn't know that, and we would have to go to church as well. We would, but it wouldn't. It's definitely not the same. So
No.
yeah, I didn't know they still did that.
Oh yeah, they still do it.
They still
They still holding on to that
that last little thing, huh?
that last little piece that sets them aside.
Yeah.
So, Joy, when you look out in the world and you see like now, does she have social media access?
Uh,
I have a YouTube channel.
You have your own YouTube channel.
It's not a very big one, but it's YouTube channel.
Oh, Kara, explain.
so remember, young lady, you just said it.
She has a YouTube channel.
Question.
Can't take it back now.
I have to ask a question.
Can't take it back now.
Mom, if you're on this radio right now, my name is not Joy Hollis. My name is Bianca Barnes.
Okay, Okira, I need you to break this down for me.
Okay. So I'll tell you how I discovered it.
Oh goodness, you discovered it.
How I discovered it. So one day she has her pad or whatever tablet, and she's in the room or whatever, and I invade her room. So we sitting there, and we like playing or whatever, and I grab her tablet, and as I'm looking at the tablet, her like she's up against her, like her chest is like up against my leg, right?
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, I can show you. And I was like, "Damn." And I can feel her heart is beating.
Oh wow! Now you want to know what's going on.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, because we don't have a lot of secrets. Like the one thing I will say is my daughter does not lie to me, right? So she's nervous, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "Promise you won't tell. Promise you won't tell. Promise you won't tell." And I'm like,
I don't sound like that.
I'm gonna need you to tell me, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm gonna tell. And so she she showed me that she had a YouTube channel. And so she's like, my picture's not on it, this and that or whatever. And, it doesn't say where I live or so I look at the channel. She puts these little funny looking videos on it, like, look like Chinese, almost like
Oh,
anime
like
type of
anime.
videos
Okay.
type of
How
thing.
dare you?
And so she does it. She puts, and she had it for about what, 2 months, something like that. And I told her you could never. I was like, you you can't talk to anybody on a personal level.
No.
You can't give anybody your address. Um, I gave her some rules, and one, I gotta follow you, and so I follow her. And she talks to me about it all the time. She, every time she posts something, I get the notification.
Right. Right.
Um, we talk about it at least 3 or 4 times a week. She's always, telling me, I got 100 subscribers, I got this amount of subscribers, and this. So, the way that I see it is, I'm going to let her. I was actually kind of surprised because she was what she learned how to do, like putting the videos together and all of that stuff. So I've done social media content and all that, and I don't know how to do that stuff. So so the what she was able to do, she's all of the things she's learned, like using different types of apps and putting it together and all of that, and she's showing all of this to me. And quite frankly, I didn't have the heart to be like, nah, you can't do that. After she had put
That
so
much
much effort,
energy. Yep.
and she was posting on a regular basis, and I know it's difficult to just like post all the time or whatever. Like she was telling me how she learned how to do this stuff. Like, she was going on YouTube pages and looking it up, figuring out how to do this, asking, a friend of hers, and all of the work and all of that. And I'm looking at her, and I didn't have it in me. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just monitor it
See
and
how it
make sure I
goes.
feel comfortable with it. And and at this point, she was like, I want to have this many subscribers by a certain time, and then then she changed the goal. It was like, I want to have 100 subscribers by the end of the month, and she passed that goal. And so she was, and she was doing it, and I looked at her. Okay.
Now, wait,
Yeah.
Joy, tell me why you wanted the channel.
Um, actually, so I wanted the channel because I like those type of videos a lot. So I just and I was like, I wanted to make them, especially since I had the game, but I didn't know. I had no idea how to make them. So I asked my friend S, who has like 2,000 something subscribers, if she could help me, and I used her email.
And you got it set up.
Yeah,
And how many subscribers do you have now?
118.
118. Okay. So, for the record, let the record show that a 10-year-old has more subscriptions than half the grown people I know that have YouTube channels. And that's fantastic. It is a testament to your dedication to it. And it shows that even at this young age, you can accomplish what you choose. Now, I'm going to ask you one thing in a minute, but let me talk to your dad for a moment.
Okay.
She's 10 now.
Yes.
Because you know the game is going to change.
Oh boy.
Have you thought about it? Well, I know you've thought about
Oh,
it. But
yeah,
have you had that
absolutely.
conversation with her about it?
So to a degree, um, I've already told her, at a certain age, she's not going to want me to call her the nickname that I call her.
Okay.
Um, and so the thing is that I'm trying not to worry about it. At this point, I think that I have gotten her to the point where I've always hoped. And so I'm confident in that part, right? So like I said, um the way that we are, she I've convinced her that it's just better to tell me the truth. She knows she's not going to be hit. She knows that, I'm not going to scream at her. And she knows that, no matter what bad she does, I love her more than the bad. So she knows it'll probably be some sort of consequence, but not to the point that, like the world is over. So it's just you know it's better for her to just tell me the truth. And so I think that I have gotten her, extremely comfortable with the fact that it's just a better situation for everybody if she just tells me the truth. And so as long as I think that, I keep that promise and we keep that relationship, then it's not gonna matter as far as when she's in high school. Yeah, you know, as far as the dead daughter thing goes, she may not want to hear anything. But the one thing I am more concerned about is if she's in trouble, who will she call? Will she feel comfortable enough to call me? Even if it's a situation where, she thinks dad doesn't know anything, she still knows that I'll help and she won't have to hear craziness coming from me while I'm helping her. And that's what I'm most concerned about. If she's ever in a position where she feels like she needs help, will she come to me? Our day-to-day relationship, you know, however that goes, her being a teenager is fine. I lived through it with my mother. I was a teenager, so I'm not worried about that. I'm
Okay.
just worried about emergencies, her feeling comfortable enough that regardless, she'll still come to me.
Miss Joy,
Yes.
tell me one thing that you want everyone that can see and hear us today that you feel is important about you and your life.
Um,
You can take a minute and think about it.
Important about my life or something that I want them to know.
Both.
I can only think of something I want them to know.
Tell me what's important about your life now.
Uh, my dad and my mom and my family.
While you're thinking, let me speak to that. One of the things that I have a Facebook friend that I don't know in the real world, but she has a very toxic relationship with her mom from a very young age and did not have a dad in the house that was helpful. And one of the things that she talks about every day is that toxicity because it impacted her so much that that's what her entire adult life is about, healing from that situation. And the fact that she said that you and her mom and her family are the most important is a big deal. And it may not seem like a big deal to people, but it is because there's so many young people that would not and could not say that.
So she has she is you ever look at your kid? You ever look at your kid and you just say, "Eh, it's so much different." So when I look at her, like from a very young age, she has always been family oriented to the point where she would always say, I wish me, you, grandma, papa, you know, mommy, Jalen, Jewel, we could all live in one big house. Now, for context, Papa and Grandma, my mother and my father, has been divorced since I was 2.
Oh. So we putting everybody together.
You know, my my father is married.
Oh
You know
goodness.
what I mean?
Oh
You know,
wow.
and my mama won't even really take a picture with that man. So it's like and she would be saying this in front of my mother, right? And my mother is like, "Yeah, good luck with that." And but she has always, if she finds out that you are her cousin or her uncle or what, I mean, she owns you. Like you are, I mean, from a very young age, she's all like, my mom, took her to like a family reunion when she was what, 3, 4, what were you? Something
Oh,
like that. You're
I
like
don't know.
3 or 4 or whatever, right? And I'm telling you, all of us, and I would like when she got back from the family reunion, I had posted something or whatever, and I'm friends with some people on Facebook from my family or whatever, and everybody's like, "Hey, that's our little friend, remember her?" And it's like everybody has stories because I'm telling you, once she finds out that you her cousin, you her, her family, she owns you, and so yeah, she's always been like that. The funny thing is that like we sit here, we have a great relationship, but I ain't her favorite.
My grandma is my favorite. She's a 11 out of 10. No one, I say, no one can beat her. I am sorry that you're you're good, but grandma's the best. She
Grandma
is the
is the best.
bomb.
Wait, make sure you show your mother this
Oh, she
recording.
oh no, she knows. She knows. She, she actually told my mother, she actually said that my mother was her favorite in front of her own mama.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
Well,
no,
I appreciate
she's
your
not shy about it.
honesty. I appreciate your honesty. One of the things I want us to close out with is, even though she's a girl, so you're a girl dad, but I feel the same for boys. Fatherhood is exceptionally important. And I know there are fathers that do not live in the same households that are super involved. I know there are fathers that live in the households that are not involved at all, and a mix thereof. But her being free to be articulate and to be honest is partially due to her knowing that she has a father as a support system. And I'm not discounting her mother, but fathers give you something
Di-
other than what mothers give you. And especially as they children get older, because your peers will tell you a lot of things that will sometimes be questionable. And the person that you're going to have to call sometimes to help you would be your father. And I'm grateful that she has you to call. And like you said, and not have to worry about the 20 million years of rubbing it in her face and all that,
yeah.
because that makes them not call you and something really may go bad.
Yes.
So, as a father, what would you say to other young people who are not fathers yet, but are getting to that stage? What is the commitment level that you say a man has to have to his children?
So there's something I actually realized probably about 4 days ago. I was brainstorming or whatever, just kind of like evaluating myself. And I before I was before she was even in the belly, I had an idea of what type of father I wanted to be. And it was based off of like just other examples I had seen. And I had a plan in my head. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be this certain way. And I remember when I found out that her mom was pregnant, I was like, all right, I have to get my patience together. I have to get my zen together because now, I had her later in life, 39 years, whatever, living by myself or living with other grown people. I had to get my patience together for a baby, a toddler, all of that. And what I would say is that, you have to want to be a father in your optimum self. And the other thing is this: your kids are not you.
Ooh,
Their life
say it again.
is not your life. And your job isn't to live your dreams through your kids. It is to make them adults who can make decisions, who can, function in society, be a plus to society. But at the end of the day, their life is their life. And so, with her, that's what I tell her is that, your life is your life. What you want, regardless of what I say or whatever, at the end of the day, your choice and your consequences and your responsibilities are yours, especially as you get older. Like right now, you don't get to control it, but still, what you do now is still going to project later. So that's what I would, just as far as parents are concerned, just the kid's life is your life. It's theirs. It's not yours.
So, Miss Joy,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, and I know your dad's going to drive you, but every now and then, would you like to come back to the studio and check up and check in with people and let them know how your YouTube channel is going? Let them know if you decide to play basketball after all. Let them know just how you're maturing and changing in this life because you're going to be a world changer in a way that you may not see today, but you'll see soon.
Yes, of course.
I appreciate that so much. Okay, are you going to have to be the chauffeur?
I will.
He's gonna be my taxi while I become famous and get millions of dollars.
That's right. And that's right. And you can wait. And he can be on your payroll. Maybe not.
Um, I'll do a Stitch banner.
There you go. There you go. And with that, this is the Quintessential Queens show. Today I had Joy and Okira Hollis discussing growing up in today's world and having a girl dad. This is your host, Rhea Ray Harris Yarbrough, coming to you on IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeartRadio station. Thank you all again so much for coming out this
Thank you.
spectacular Sunday.
Thank
And
you.
we
Bye.
will see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right, Wanda, we're good.